Okay, it's Matt here from Holton and St Helens VCA. I'm delighted to say I've been joined by other Matt Forde, Matt 1 in this project, I suppose. Thank you for joining us to talk about St Mary's Church this afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, how are you?
Not so bad, not so
Very
bad.
good.
Now, you work for Willard Project Management Limited.
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about the organisation and your role within it.
Well, we're a project management organisation. We're 3 strong. We're owned by Moorbane Limited, who are obviously also involved in this project.
Okay.
Primarily, we look after the delivery of all of Moorbane's projects.
Yep.
And we also get involved in management and maintenance of existing properties within the portfolio as well.
Okay.
So it's quite a wide sort of role from project management to looking after existing buildings.
So I suppose with a new build or a redevelopment like this one, there must be loads of different people and roles and what have you that you have to drag together. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We obviously, from sort of inception, with the design team, we get the architect involved, structural engineers, highway engineers, the geotech guys for soils investigations and things like that. So it's a case of pulling all those disciplines together.
Yeah.
And obviously as part of that delivery process for a project.
Right. Do you have the added stress of, is it your fault if something goes wrong, with all these various cogs working away?
I think although we're pulling on all these experts to give their professional opinion, if it doesn't quite go as you want it to go, I think there's always an element of, well, could we have done something better? Could we have done something differently?
Right.
So yeah, I think just from perhaps also a personal pride basis that you tend to get that feeling anyway.
Excellent stuff. And what's been your involvement with the redevelopment of St Mary's Church?
Well, probably since we obviously got the phase 1 funding sorted, we then started the application back end of the summer last year for the phase 2 funding.
Yep. Heritage Lottery bid.
That's right, for the Heritage Lottery funding. So I was assisting Moorbane with that. We were obviously successful with that, and from there we've been pulling things together to get tender packages together and out to tender to the various contractors.
And you mentioned out to tender. That's where we are right now today. Tell us a bit about the kind of work that we've been doing behind the scenes over the past 6 months since the phase 2 money or the Heritage Lottery bid was approved.
Okay. Obviously, the Heritage Lottery funding was granted following the fact that we'd scoped everything out and we'd defined what we wanted to do. Obviously, that was at a very high level, so it was a case of sitting down with the design team, you guys as the client, pulling everything together, deciding on all the detail, all the finishes, and basically just generating and progressing the design so that we could get it to a point where we could give it to somebody to price.
And that's where we are today.
That's where
We've
we are
got
today.
the tender process is it will it be complete today, or do we?
I suspect, obviously depending on where the prices are at, there'll probably be some work and some negotiation with some of the contractors just to understand where they're coming from. We'll obviously have to involve the design team again at some stage, just to refine anything. So there will be a little bit more work to do before we get started on site.
Terrific. And then from this moment, the real work starts for the people who've been keeping an eye on the church and what have you. The real redevelopment work starts, I suppose.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And what's next for you and the church over the next couple of months, you think?
Well, once we get to the point where we can pick a contractor and appoint a contractor, we'll be getting them onto site. Obviously, moving things forward with demolition. Started with the refurb works and then also the extension and the other elements of the project as well. Yeah,
and the new build on the front.
That's right, yeah.
It's tremendously exciting because for so long it's just been a bit theoretical in a sense. It's all been on paper, and I'm really thrilled about the thought of the next step of things actually changing in the real world.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does, because obviously, you know, we all see what everybody aspires for it to look like on paper, and it'll be nice to see it come out of the ground and see it actually for what it really is.
How does this project compare to other ones you've managed in the past?
It's probably completely different, really, because the work that we do for Moorbane generally tends to be new build, retail type projects. Yeah. So this is quite exciting, really, in the sense that it's refurbing an existing building within Widnes. it's also just exciting, just given the scope of what we're doing and bringing something back into use that's been for so long just sat there wasting away.
And it is such a local treasure in a sense, isn't it? It's great to see such a lovely building being restored and being back open to the public again.
Definitely, yeah. And obviously we finished the Tesco store towards the end of last year. That's been open for some time now, and this sort of completes that little parcel of land adjacent to that and brings it all together as a final development.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time today. And on behalf of the Holton and St Helens VCA and all the people we've had volunteering in the project who are so keen to see new life breathed into the building, without Moorbane and Willard support, this wouldn't have got off the ground. So thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.